From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big evening of Evenings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In tonight's recording, the White House trying to deflect and deal the situation of a mixed messaging on that recon. No less than 4 different messages coming out from both the White House and Democrats as to what's going on in January. But which one's correct? I'll analyze the breaking details as Jalopal, Schumer, Pelosi, Manchin, and Biden have different messages about how to pass the recon. And yes, Joe Manchin said he wants to pass it. The latest update tonight. The Senate changes which provisions have to be changed to get this recon to the finish line. And why have the senators really not understood the implications of why MSCs work? When they're debating getting money to the American people and who gets and how they get it, the recon has a lot of checks in there, $15,000, but MSCs would be the easiest solution to their problems. I'll explain the advocacy and the importance of it in this recording tonight. It's all brand new tonight. Third stimulus. Viewers are getting massive checks across the board. This is your holiday stimulus. I'm going to show you how to get these big sums of money. It is lots of it. And viewers have been getting it since early this year, but now another round of it, $15,000. Now it's about $5,000. It's incredible news. It's coming up in tonight's recording. Then we'll be turning to that student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that, plus the breaking news about this stimulus, and the COLA raise and your SNAP benefits as well. Meantime, a new show testing tonight. It's the talk of the town. It'll put LA on the map, and it'll be the game changer for this industry for news reporting. I hope you've been watching it. I'll detail to you what's at store tonight in that tester of a show airing right now. Meantime, what should you know going into the night as COVID is ravaging across the country? What does this mean for you, vaccination, and also the booster? And what does it mean for this economy, businesses, and more? All those incredible details as we go into a big evening. I'm with you here in Santa Monica, California. I'll be with you all throughout the night. This, my friends, is the breaking news direct from Santa Monica about your fourth stimulus recon, that fourth stimulus check, and all your big financial news and the excitement and the details of it all begin right now, direct from Santa Monica, California, as Evenings LA gets underway. Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful evening across the board. And here we go. That fourth stimulus recon is going to get passed, but how will it get passed? And what are the details you need to know about this incredible provision in there and all the provisions across the board? In tonight's recording, we go over everything you need to know about what is in that recon, how it will get passed, and what are the changes the House and senators need to make across the board, and what the president's vowing to change as well. All those details tonight and across the board. The Senate changes will be robust. I'll explain what you need to know and what the changes will anticipate for. And then the programs amounting to about $15,000. What do they mean and what does it mean across the board? The big money for third stimulus still paying out, and I'll go over the latest you need to know. And the student loan debt forgiveness, this stimulus coming up as well in tonight's recording. But first, I want you part of this incredible family. Go right on this video right now and be part of the incredible family by subscribing. Go right on this video and hit that subscribe button so you are part of the #1 most watched channel of this kind in the nation right now. And new details tonight about the variant will be covered in this recording. So go into that video and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. So many details across the board to cover tonight. And what a night it is. The President of the United States addressing the American people just minutes ago. I have the latest comments on him. The latest update from the CDC, what's going on at the Federal Reserve and what could impact this economy going into the new year. And why was Miami-Dade and travel out of Florida at its highest level in recorded history today? It's a lot of confusing details. It's all covered tonight across the board. And with that, I want you part of this channel. Also sign up for those LA alerts. This fourth stimulus recon will become a law in the month of January. Democrats, including Joe Manchin, say And those checks in there will be robust. At least $15,000. What are those checks? Let's go over each of them right now, one at a time, with cluster number one. Got in there, has a pay, and $4,000 of elder care. They got in there lots of other checks in that first cluster. So what's in there? First cluster, has a pay for my essential workers, $4,000 of elder care. They got in there the CTC, the child tax credit. They also got in there the Care for Young Children, the $550 check for the Pell Grant recipients. And then they got in there the money to repair your home if you're in a low-income community. And finally, the money to repair the home if you're a low-income community, and the $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Wow. The second add-on, the first add-on check comes in Lush's Maxine Waters. She got that provision in there. And what is it? It is money for the big purchase of your first home. Incredible, great news. She got it in there. She wanted to give you $25,000. It's a little bit less. How does it work? I'll cover it later in this video. We go to second cluster checks, home repairs and paid leave. Also in there, the universal pre-K coverage and the household tax credit. Now, when we talk about home repairs in this one would be to weatherize your home so the home sustains natural disasters, which is like every time that Joe Manchin has something to say. The second add-on of checks comes from the illustrious Bob Casey. He got that provision in there. He wanted to give you big coverage for home health care and people on disabilities, seniors. He got it in there. How much do you want to give you? $250 billion. He got a little bit less. More about that coming up in just a second. Meantime, let's turn to the third cluster of checks, and that third cluster of checks has a lot of great news. And that third cluster of checks has in there money for my seniors, free internet as well. It also has in there the cheaper prescription medication, the free school meals for all checks, immigration reform removed by the Senate parliamentarian, the free internet. Also has in there the money for my workers, and then finally the seniors. Two provisions added on the House side, three added on the Senate side. House members got in there the Medicaid gap fix and the hearing, but the senators vow to add three other provisions. Vow to add, remember they haven't added them yet, which are dental, vision, and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, which is consistent when we're talking about that MSC, because guess what? It's not in there yet either. So what's going on? In the last month of the Real Housewives of West Virginia reality TV show that we're currently watching of Joe versus Joe, the senators have not had time to put any of their provisions in this recon. That is why we haven't heard about anything substantive in the last few weeks. And that is why MSC is still on board to go in there. It was no less than 2 weeks ago that I said to re-advocate to those senators who had told viewers back in this months of May and June it would go in there. Thousands of viewers being told by 6 senators it would go in there. And what did they say? They want to put it in there, $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for up to 6 months. They want to do the same eligibility, they said, as a third stimulus check. Who got that third stimulus check? Let's go over the recap of who got a third stimulus check. Single individuals, $75,000 less, got it. Married couple, $150,000 less, got it. Double it. Family of four, they got as well. Quadruple it. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits as well. You got it. It's not income. It's not taxable. It's offered in all U.S. states. And moreover, it's offered to adult dependents. It is not a state stimulus. This is federal stimulus. So 2 weeks ago, we started to re-advocate, and the viewers really heard the same responses. Bonnie being told by Liz Warren's office is going in there. Lynn Glenn being told by Chris Coon's office is going in there. Same message from Tyrell received from Bob Casey's office. Same message to Donnie and his wife Sharon from Ron Wyden's office, and same message to Janet from Chuck Schumer's office via Bernie Sanders, that it's all going in there. That's why it's important for you to advocate, because we are at the edge of the finish line. The tow truck has picked up the tow hitch. The tow truck has passed over the finish line, but the tow hitch is right at the edge of the finish line, and it's not over there yet. So it's time important for you to advocate, which involves picking up the phone and calling the senator saying, we need it. Don't use the word MSC, use simple words. And who do you advocate to? Let's go over those individuals right now. You want to contact Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. And who are they? What do they look like? Let's go over those details right now. You want to reach out to Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. But 2 weeks ago, I said pick up the phone and advocate for your wallet as well. And you have done really well. In tonight's recording, I'm going to show you how to advocate for even more. What is this? This is third stimulus. Viewers are getting big sums of money. Average viewer of this channel has gotten $5,000 in the last 2 weeks. Later in this recording, I'm going to show you how to get more of this money. This is third stimulus. And guess what? If you never got it before, you can get it today. It's coming up in the second half of this video. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that. Plus, the breaking details about this stimulus, COLA raise, and your SNAP coming in January. Meantime, what are these checks in this fourth stimulus recon? Which are surviving, which going out, and which do I believe have to go out? Oh boy, this is brand new. It's all tonight. It's all new details you have never heard until tonight. It's all Evenings LA. Meantime, I'll go over what I believe is going to be happening in the month of January. It's my commentary in the final 5 minutes of this video. I'll be showing you more money to get because cash is king on this channel. And I'll give you a preview of what I think the Federal Reserve is going to do in view of the new COVID numbers tonight. Those details and more coming up at the commercial break. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now as Evenings LA continues direct from Santa Monica. With the recon being passed in January, says all the Democrats involved, but said changes have to be made to the recon. What are those changes? What needs to be removed? And also, what still has not been added and needs to be added? I'll go over all the details. The program still will pay you out a lot of money, upwards of $15,000. I'll go over each of those checks. And then we'll be turning back to third stimulus, one of the big success stories of this channel. This is your holiday stimulus that viewers have gotten throughout the days. Then, of course, go over to the excitement of student loan debt forgiveness, the big surprises of stimulus, that COLA raise, and the impact on your SNAP. Those details coming up in the second half of this video. Plus, I'll give you a preview of what I believe is going to be happening with the Federal Reserve and the new resurgence of the virus and its impact on this economy. And I give you my commentary in the final 5 minutes of this video. So with that, I want you part of this incredible family. Go under this video tonight, right now, and subscribe. So you become both a subscriber and a member to this channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino BIP. Meantime, currently airing on this channel and airing throughout the night is a new test show I want you to watch. It's a test of a new show we intend to roll out if everything goes as planned. And what is that show? I'm going to go over all the details of that starting right now as the second half of this channel gets second half of this video gets underway starting right now. So here we go. Currently airing live on this channel is a brand new test show. It's called LALATE Live. Now, while we have a lot of live shows, it seeks to move this channel into a future that we've never seen ever in streaming media, making this channel the very first live financial streaming channel on this subject matter in the United States. It's currently airing as a test show tonight for one night only in the time slot where Overnight's Crypto airs. So you may watch this video, it may take you there automatically, or you can jump over and watch it right after this video's airing. It will be covering your financial news, and it'll be running from 3:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today to 8 a.m. the next morning. The latest financial news of the night. So jump over and take a look. Send me a private message as what you think about the show. And again, it's a test run for tonight. Meantime, also airing tonight is a brand new Calcino episode number 3, taped minutes ago. All right, let's go right into this recon and what I believe is going on. So there's a lot of new events happening today, and the overwhelming sentiment is the following: that 1, the recon is going to get done; 2, that no one really knows how it's going to get done; and number 3, it's going to happen in the month of January. Let's go over what's new today. What's new today is that the president is not leading by example, but allowing a lot of different voices of the Democratic Party to say, this is how we should do it. And what are we hearing tonight? No less than 4 different approaches of how to pass this recon in January. First, Pramila Jayapal coming out today, the House progressive leader, saying the way you do it is you just don't negotiate with Joe Manchin. No, that's not the way you do it. That's not going to work. So take that one off the list. That doesn't make any sense. And she's not looking good as a nice person as well, because she was a person that Joe Manchin had entrusted to, as an outsider, not part of the Senate, to reach out to. He did, and she called him a liar, and then told the press, I called him a liar, and I'm telling you as well, he's a liar. Not particularly good look for her after she hasn't kept her promises to put MSCs in there as well. Then we have Nancy Pelosi with her approach, which is just call the vote and leave everything in there that was in the House. Not going to work. And guess what? I'm going to tell you in a second. A lot of stuff that was in there from the House has to be removed, whether you even get to Joe Manchin. And then we have the White House's approach. We now learn tonight that the White House actually, or the president himself, actually reached out to Joe Manchin Sunday afternoon, right after that Sunday morning interview, and got Joe Manchin on the phone. They had a good conversation. What is the last approach? The last approach is the only approach that should be done, the one that I advocated for last Wednesday on this channel, and you successfully got Chuck Schumer to do. Hashtag Chuck call the vote. And guess what? He's calling the vote. We launched this campaign on this channel last Wednesday before any of these problems were happening, because we haven't seen issues with Chuck and the president. Hashtag Chuck call the vote. Chuck call the vote. Chuck Schumer wants to call the vote and pass it in January. And there's a series of reasons why this is the best way. Number 1, calling the vote shows the problems in the recon to the American people and the press that for many circumstances have been held behind closed doors, and we haven't seen them. When you call the vote, you don't vote initially. You have a debate on the Senate floor, and that Senate floor debate will be on broadcast media live on this channel. Everyone will cover it. And it won't just be the universe going after Joe Manchin. It will also be the universe realizing there's problems in this bill that originated with the White House. Let me go over the 2 parts at issue. First, during the debate, Joe Manchin will say, these are provisions that have a problem. I've showed the president their problems in there. He's admitted to me their problems, and they have still not been fixed. After 6 months, why am I to blame? Passive aggressive? No, on this point, he's correct, Joe Manchin. Let's give you an example. Number 1. I have covered this subject specifically since April, where I told you that the recon at 1.9 trillion, 1.7 trillion is supposed to have 1-year programs. And yet the White House is saying it's a fundamental permanent change to the system. It's 12 months. It's a temporary provision. It's not permanent. Well, I told you in April, and I've told you every single month since then, that there's tricky wording White House staffers have done in the recon to masquerade 20-year programs as 1-year programs, saying, oh, but they're really 1 year. And then everyone else, including myself, the Congressional Budget Office, which is a nonpartisan organization, Joe Manchin, even Mitch McConnell, saying, no, they're not 1-year programs, they're 20-year programs. And guess who also says they're 20-year programs? The White House's own documentation. Let's go over what happened. When the recon was first supposed to roll out at $7 trillion, they were 20-year programs. Everyone said, no, we're not doing 20 years. Then they reduced it to 10-year programs at $3 trillion. They said, no, we're not doing 10-year programs. Then they reduced them to 1-year programs at 1.7. Really 1-year programs? No. I've been making this recording since where everyone and their sister and brother said someone is deliberately using tricky language in the White House to masquerade a 20-year program as a 1-year program, which has a series of bad things to it. First, a lot of you don't intend to give 20 don't intend to give $60,000 to newborn children. I don't think any of the viewers of this channel want to give any $60,000 to any newborn child. That's basically what we're talking about. $1,600 over 20 years to newborn children. That was not the plan at issue. Number two, no one in this that's watching this video wants their taxes to be paid, to be levied to pay for $60,000 to unborn children. No one wants to do that on this channel. No one wants to see the national debt be impacted by this. And no one wants to see the President of the United States appear on broadcast media this afternoon saying, this is to help working families and to help hardworking families. Well, they're hardworking families now, and yet we're giving checks over 20 years for people who may be born in 10 years after this bill is created. That's mixed messaging. So this would put this subject matter on a floor debate. Everyone would see it, and guess what? The yes would hit the fan, and suddenly people would say, Mr. President, I'm looking at the language. I think they're all right. You've masqueraded 20-year programs as 1 year. His fault? No. His staff? Yes. Ultimately his fault? Sure. He's not fixing the provisions. He's letting bad staffers leave bad provisions in there. Joe Manchin talked about this before. Other examples of things that aren't particularly bad but need to be fixed. Joe Manchin has told this White House, since I think I covered it in September, that the CTC, again, we're still with the CTC, the CTC sends a check to the parent. But what happens if the parent is incarcerated? Then the grandparent who's taking care of the kid doesn't get any money? Yeah. And Joe Manchin says, I want to give the kid the money, but what happens if the biological mom is not there? The biological dad's not there. They don't get Zippo? That doesn't work. So he has expressed that concern. They not fix the language. Again, this is not going to play good for the White House when it airs on broadcast media, because people can say, why haven't you fixed this? There's a lot more than just that provision that needs fixing. And then we turn to the Joe Manchin situation. Joe Manchin has fixing for himself to be done. Let's go over what's at issue. There's two parts for Joe Manchin. First, the provisions he wants out, the provisions he wants to fix, and finally, the delay tactic, which is perhaps the most important situation. First, Joe Manchin has said, I want provisions out. Why are they still in there? Paid leave. He wants paid leave out. Why does he want paid leave out? He wants to give you paid leave, but he wants to go for bipartisan support. The way Chuck Schumer does is he calls a vote, and Joe Manchin says, I want to do it by bipartisan support. Chuck Schumer says, let's call an amendment to see how many Republicans want to do a standalone bill, an up-down vote. Let's do an up-down vote right now for paid leave for among Republicans and Democrats. How many Republicans do we have? Zero. You get my point, Joe? No Republicans want to do this. Is Chuck talking? No Republicans want to do this. You're talking about a reality that doesn't exist. That's why you got to do our paid leave, Joe. And that's how it solves paid leave. The other provisions where Joe Manchin says, I want them fixed, well, then they'll fix them. A lot of ways to fix them. First, you have the debate, then you fix it, then you call the vote. Or you have the debate, you don't fix it, you call the vote, you pause the vote, then go back and fix it, and then continue the vote. Or you still don't fix it, you call it Senator Vote-a-Rama, and then you fix it. Next, the most important situation, the delay. And boy, Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden, they have been tricked left and right by Joe Manchin with delay tactics. His latest comments this week since the Fox News interview was, I'll do the recon if you make changes, maybe. Maybe I'm pregnant, sort of pregnant. We're not doing this anymore, Joe Manchin. And we're not doing this anymore, Mr. President, because guess what? Nancy Pelosi should run the ship because she does this so well. She locks people down that want to play the maybe game with her, and she did it with Gothenheimer. Senator Josh Gothenheimer, the moderate Democrat out of New Jersey, was trying to play this game back in the House. You remember back in December. And he said, maybe I'll vote for the recon if you pass the roads and bridges first. She said, I'm not going to do maybe with you. You know what she did to him? She had it covered four different ways. First, she had him on the floor of the House, on broadcast media, raise his hand and say, you will do this when that. Yes, I will. Then she had him write it out and sign it. And then she put it in the congressional record. Still not enough. She actually had an amendment that said, Gothenheimer and these people, name them by hand, this person, will do this when we do that. Sign, vote, and they passed their own amendment that impacts themselves. That's what Chuck Schumer needs to do with Joe Manchin. He doesn't do it. You are going to do this guessing game to infinity and beyond. That is what Chuck Schumer needs to do. Finally, the White House needs to undo their beat up game. Now, Joe Manchin has been playing this passive aggressive under the victim situation. You ain't the victim, Joe Manchin. You ran to be a senator, to get a senator's salary, to get all the comfort of a senator, and you don't like people picketing around your car. Well, don't run for political office. That's part of the course. But he is also right that the White House is trying to send out false messages about Joe Manchin. He wants to do the CTC, but the White House saying he doesn't want to give money to little children. He doesn't say that. This is how they're trying to beat him up with a press blitz. And if the White House stops that, then we will go from point A to point B. Let's go over all this incredible checks in this incredible recon. I'll have more about this later in this video, but what I want to go over actually the checks right now. There's a lot of checks in this recon, and those checks in this recon is putting surfing behind me. Isn't that beautiful? That was a mistake. That was a mistake to put surf behind me. But you're allowed mistakes. Let's put back what we usually have behind me. There we go. Let's go over some of those incredible checks that are in that recon one at a time, and there's a lot of them. I'll explain which ones are likely to stay, which ones are likely to come out, and which ones are likely in jeopardy. We're going to go over each of these checks right now. And we're starting with the paid leave. You already seen me detail that this is in jeopardy. Do I believe that the paid leave will stay in there? I think it's a 50-50 on this one. Paid leave pays a lot. It pays $7,500 a week. It should be $1,400 a week if you make $75,000 or more per year. It pays $800 a week if you make $35,000 a year. It pays $400 a week and make $15,000 more per year. All type of workers, W-2, 1099, all income levels, and if you don't work and your son or daughter takes off from work, it pays to them. They got in there the SALT cap, raising from $10,000 to $72,500. Incredible. That is the amount you can deduct on state and local taxes on your federal tax return. They got in there the job training, $40 billion of that. Incredible for millions of Americans who want to take a higher paying job. And then they got in the Medicaid gap fix. Great. This is for those people who do not have a cheaper insurance in their states. Now, those 12 Republican holdout states will have a workaround plan that will provide years of subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in the states, which then brings us to the best provisions, Raycon, the one that has been the big winners of this channel in the last few weeks, and that is the housing. 6 provisions, 3 new, 3 old. The 3 new one are home repairs, first-time home purchases, and also weatherizing your home. The other 3 provisions are very familiar. We've seen them before. Maybe they were at the beach. Wave at them. They're waivable. No, it's rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. And the great news is that they are still paying out right now. You don't have to wait for 4th stimulus to become law. You can get this right now. It's 3rd stimulus, and right now we're going to go over these sums of money. It is rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and what's going on. Average view of this channel in the last 2 weeks has gone to $5,000, 46 months of rent, and 2 utilities, and we're step back a notch. When this first became law in December 2020, when first stimulus was law in December 2020, and we were waiting for second stimulus, I said, I think I can get you this money. And it was rent and utilities. It was floating around sort of the residue of first stimulus. I said, there's not a lot of it, but let me get you some. $250,000 helped pay people's bills during the holiday season. How does this work? The concept is you have a wad of cash in your wallet to pay the rent. It's the rent money in your wallet. Well, what happens January 1 if you don't have to take it out of the wallet? You don't have to give away that rent money to the landlord. You can keep it there because someone else paid your rent. Suddenly you can use the rent money to go buy a holiday gift or more holidays or holiday meals or holiday travel. Yeah, suddenly this works. How about the utility bill in the left pocket? You don't have to take out the cash for that because suddenly someone else is paying the utility bill. Well, this is how it works. And back in 2020, I showed you how to do it. You got big monies during the holidays. You cleaned up, and we've been doing it ever since. When third stimulus debuted, I said, you know what? I'm looking at this third stimulus. I think I can get you a lot of money when it becomes law, upwards of $15,000. And when it did, boy, did you get good sums of money. Average view of this channel at the time got $45,000 because you had listened and learned how to get these big sums of money at the time. You got over the summer, but then 2 weeks ago, you and I knew that there was not going to be any fourth stimulus in our wallet by Christmas. So I brought third stimulus back on this channel, and boy, did you win. Average view of this channel has got to the last 2 weeks, 46 months of rent, Two utilities, about $5,000. The great news is that if you have not gotten this before, you can get it right now. And if you've gotten it, and you can get more of it in this recording as well. I'm going to show you more about these details, but first, get a pen, paper ready, get that newsletter out. We're going to go over all these incredible sums of money. And we're starting with the rent, which is a lot of money right off the board. The rent is a lot. And while it was $20,000 to $30,000 3 months ago, it has gone up a lot since then. This is the graphic then, 3 months ago. And now it's upwards of $40,000. Where do you get this money? 6 places. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. And key words you say are rent assistance because of COVID. Rent or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. There are 3 musts you must do. You must reach out to all 6 places. You must get the applications on file everywhere. And you must make sure that you do multiple rounds. What is a multiple round? For example, if you got this money early this year, you can get more money today. If you got this month's rent from one organization today, you can get next month's rent from another organization tomorrow. Then do the same thing for mortgage assistance, utility assistance. Wow. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000. The numbers continue to grow. Go get this utility assistance. Then SNAP. Incredible. This is money for food. If you got a third stimulus check, why are you paying for your own food? Go get it. It's a lot. Upwards of $25,000. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $250,000 over 10 years from this channel. Then get combo items. Wow. Mark and Nisi had gotten 3. Art Sullivan had gotten 3. So I kept on telling people, do what Nisi and and Art did. Get that 3rd. And here's Mark at the time. He had 2. So I said, Mark, where is your 3rd? He went out and got that 3rd. Brought himself from this amount, from $32,000 to $50,000. Now he's at over $100,000 across the board. Lorraine, she was at 105, and now she's at 120. Incredible sums of money across the board, but the incredible story continues with Johnny. Johnny shows us how to do it correctly. Several weeks ago, Johnny was watching these videos, and he started the week at $0. By the middle of the week, he had $45,000 from 3 programs. But he heard my recordings, which said, do not stop there. Keep on getting as many programs approved as you can. And he did. By the end of the week, he got 7 programs. Now, that's the big surprise, but it gets better than that. To get 7 programs approved, Johnny had to have reached out to at least 15 places because you're going to have a 50% rejection rate. And that's why part 1 of this incredible story is so wonderful. By the end of the week, he had $80,000. Part 2 of the incredible story follows the following Monday. 2 family members reach out to Johnny and say, hey, what have you been doing? I got $80,000 last week. From LA? Yeah. From what? Third stimulus. I didn't hear about this in broadcast meeting. He says they don't cover it. This is the landscape of where this channel is going and has been. This channel got people $25 million for EIDL in the last year. Broadcast media barely even covered EIDL one time ever. Then in December 2020, got you $250,000 of rent. They never talked it even existed. I've been getting people $45,000 for third stimulus earlier this year. They don't even tell you what's in there. And I've been getting you multiple rounds of this money in the last few days. And people, they're not even telling people that there's multiple rounds available. They just don't cover it. That's why I want to tune into this channel. Then part 3 of Incredible Johnny's story was the friends and family kept on stopping over, hearing this channel, hearing what Johnny had done, said, help meet Johnny as well. He did. Showed them the videos. They subscribed. They became members. And in recent weeks, they got 32 of them money. How much for 32 people? $850,000. $850,000. So go right on this video right now and become a member. I want you a member of this incredible family starting right now. You want to get the big money available from third stimulus. And what's important to know is that this is a lot of money. And it's more than we would initially thought. And guess what? It's all detailed in the newsletter to viewers of this channel. Consider becoming a member right today because Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the LA alerts and the YouTube alerts, the membership newsletter goes out. It features the 6 places you reach out to. It features the keywords you say. It features also what sums of money you can get. But it also features stuff not covered in the video. The 5 nonprofits, what do the 5 nonprofits help with? Also that one nonprofit that helps with home repairs. Consider becoming a member today and get those incredible sums of money. And with that, let's go back into that 4 stimulus recon, which we left off at the housing provision. So the housing provision, yes, does have those 3 new provisions in there. And what are they? Weatherize your home, which is for all type of homes across the board, all income levels, and also then first-time home purchases. We don't know how this would qualify, but it would be basically money given to the seller by the U.S. government at time of escrow. And then we have also the home repairs if you live in a low-income community. So what else is then this incredible fourth stimulus recon besides those checks? Well, we got in there the home care, $150 billion for home care for seniors and people on disabilities. We got in there the tuition aid, $550 check for the college students Pell Grant, the $550 billion for for the environment, and then $65 per month for for students when they're not in school for nutrition. We got in there as well lots of checks, but one of the best provisions of this recon is the cheaper medication. Day one, 20 medications will be dramatically reduced, and then it'll grow to 30 medications by the year 2028. The most expensive medications, like cancer, arthritis, and diabetes, huge. They can't increase more than the rate of inflation, and away we go. You look at this graphic, you're wondering, 35,000? That sounds like a lot more than, this sounds like there's a lot more in there than you're recording, than the graphic shows. Yeah, you've seen this video? You understand it's clearly a lot more than 15,000 because it has all that 45,000 stuff from third stimulus in there. It has the add-ons. It has the pending add-ons. So clearly we're over 50,000. It also has in there the Pell Grant. It also has the nutrition. It has the housing aid. And then it has all those provisions the senators had to add across the board. Let me turn over just for a blink of an eye to student loan debt forgiveness, and that would go by executive order. Something I keep on forgetting to say all day long, which I have to say, which is very important. Jalapal just said a great comment, and I know if Dragon's in the live chat, she is going to react to this as well because she has a comment about executive orders. Pramila Jalapal today said, well, the president should just do the provisions that need to be done in this recon by executive order. Excuse me? Can't. I mean, you're a House member. How can you say that? Most of the stuff in this recon you can't do by executive order. So I don't understand what she's talking about. Student loan debt forgiveness. There's a $10,000 offer on the table. The Democrats should take it. This would follow the executive orders the president did for student loan debts to be forgiven if people became disabled and worked in the nonprofit or public sector 10 years after graduation. Fifth stimulus in your color raise, 5.9%. So your benefits are going up 5.9%. Oh, benefits are going up 5.9% next year. That's called automatic. You don't have to do anything. Your benefits are income. So if they go up, your SNAP goes down. That's par for the course. People just sort of upset about it. I'm sorry. That's the way benefits work. So if you make $100 more in benefits a month, which is $1,200 more in benefits a year, then your SNAP will go down. I mean, which one do you want? Do you want the benefits? Of course you want the benefits. Under fifth stimulus, they seek to come back in from the back door and raise your benefits and get higher, raising them up higher one big time. Then remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and removing the marriage penalty. Let me give you my commentary what the Federal Reserve is doing right now in view of, or going to do right now in view of the changing situation out of the variant that originated in South Africa. You know what? It just feels like yesterday, because it was just like yesterday. Just the day or two after Thanksgiving, me going on live on air saying there's a new variant. We just found it just a few seconds ago. It's out of South Africa. It's called, what is it called? Omicron? No one can pronounce it right, but I'm telling you, it just appeared. That was a recording I made just 2 weeks ago. Guess what? Tonight, the variant is the number one strain or version of COVID in the United States. It has grown from 3% of U.S. cases to now 70%. It will become the dominant strain in just a few days, and we do not have clarity yet if the booster plus the double vaccination is sufficient against the variant. And Moderna, as among the companies, says they're developing a specific booster just for the variant. Without becoming this turn into a health video, I want to say the impact on the financial economy. So travel and leisure will get hit. Travel and leisure will get hit. I know that travel, especially cruise stocks today, cruise industry stocks were way up, really out of control. But travel and leisure, hospitality, all these industries are about to get pummeled. And it may not be today, but it'll certainly be by January. Most analysts believe that you're going to see the data come in by January because it takes weeks for people to get very seriously ill, and then sadly days thereafter to potentially get even worse. And that data won't come into potentially late January. And at that point, we're looking at the impact on the Federal Reserve maybe by February or March. Federal Reserve said no less than last week that it will change course if Omicron gets worse. Well, Omicron is worse. So how can the Federal Reserve change course? I believe the Federal Reserve will start to taper less fast. That's the only thing it's doing right now. It's speeding up the tapering. So I believe it'll do it less fast. And I think it'll delay interest rates further out. I mean, it said it won't raise interest rates until it's done with the tapering. And with that, I go into my final commentary about what's happening with the White House and your fourth stimulus recon. So there's a lot of wrong in this recon, whether it's the personalities, the people, the staff, or the language. But, I can deal with some wrong. But the real wrong is when it starts at the top. And here's the issues. The White House should not give Joe Manchin an inch to delay. And Joe Manchin has been just doing delay games for months. And the White House has been enabling him to do it. No more, no time, place. Number two, the White House needs to stop trying to go after Joe Manchin or have staffers go after him. With these press releases and these hit campaigns, it doesn't help unless that's the approach they're going to do, and it's not their approach. Their approach is to be professional, respectful, and polite and kind, and get a common courtesy done and differences separated across the board. That they have to do that. Next, the White House needs to stop the alternate ideas floating out there from Democratic caucus. They need to zip up Pramila. They need to zip up Pelosi. We're not doing that. This is what we're doing. Chuck said it. We're doing what Chuck said. We're not doing these other versions. If that keeps on going on, it just keeps on belaboring the point. Number three, White House needs to fix the language. The language is going to put us back and further back every single week that goes on if the White House does not fix the language. No one wants to send out kids' checks for more than a year. No one wants to bankroll kids' checks for more than a year. And the White House seems to not understand it. Now, here is my pitch and also my advocacy right in this video for MSC. President of the United States appeared on broadcast media after Afternoons LA right before the show, just minutes ago, saying hardworking family, middle class, $89,000, $90,000, $95,000 salary, can't get enough money, can't get by. They need a little bit of help to get some breathing room. Well, that ain't the unborn child. That ain't the unborn child. And why do I say unborn? Because I want to use an example of someone that's not even here. Who are trying to pass legislation for people that's not even here. I mean, that's one of the major messages my seniors say that watch this channel that say, I've been on this planet for 60 years. Why am I less important than someone that's not born yet, that's not even here? And the president wants to help this situation, send out MSCs. I mean, there's so many things in this video where someone says, I don't like the way this works. It doesn't work. It doesn't pay the right people. It's going to the mom when the mom's incarcerated. And they just sent out an MSC. It would solve the situation. Here's an example. I mean, it's just, people are going to say, why don't you just be president? You just talk so sensibly and do street smarts. Because I don't know. I see this stuff. I'm thinking, what are you thinking? This is just to make some sense. Paid leave. Joe Manchin doesn't want it done this way. Doesn't want it done this way. The president wants paid leave. Okay. Paid leave. 4 weeks max, $1,700 on the high end. Max paid leave for the highest paying income working people, $5,000. Lowest paying people, $1,600. Okay, it's anywhere from $1,600 to $5,000 or $6,000. MSC, MSC, $2,000 the first month, $1,000 after for 6 months. That's $7,000. I need, hi, Mr. Boss, I need to be off from work for a week because my wife is giving birth. Can I have some money? No, you don't need it. You're getting a monthly stimulus check from the federal government. That's for these situations. It's sort of like the MSC is a catch-all. It just solves a lot of problems at the same time. There was always the nuance that you sort of dictate how money goes out, and the money goes this way and it goes that way. Then suddenly the people need money are not getting it, and suddenly it making the situation too convoluted. Send out cash. It's sort of like, can the White House, can they put some cash on the front lawn and just everyone come with a shovel, just take a shovel and shovel it up, and we're gone, and we don't have to spend 15 weeks with legislating. I love that idea, Lyle. Tell the White House just put money on the front lawn. No, but that's what I'm saying. Just send out MSCs. It's so simple. It's so simple. You send out the money. We don't have to bother about paid leave this way, paid leave that way. Then someone's going to say it. But what happens for the next 20 years, Ally? Well, guess what? No one is doing paid leave for 20 years. They're not. No one's doing paid leave for 20 years in this program. How about the young children? They're going to be hungry. They're not going to be hungry because guess what? They're going to get a stimulus check. They're newborn children. $1,200 for a 4-year-old a month? That's a lot of darn food. So don't, Nancy, give me that. They're going to go hungry. $1,200 a kid per month for food. It's a newborn kid. I mean, I'd love the viewers on the live chat right now. If I gave you $1,200 a month for your food, just for you, not for your family, just for you, would that cover your food? Now, let's say people say it's not enough. Then you raise the amount of the MSE. It's so simple. The other thing that has to really stop is this strange personality thing. Now, I understand they're legislators, they have personalities, but boy, Joe Biden was ramped up. Did you see the press interview today? He was ramped up. He was ramped up because guess what? Life is not a cakewalk, Joe. Life is not a cakewalk. He ran on this platform that Donald Trump got everything wrong with COVID. Now Joe Biden has to do his COVID approach because COVID is hitting Joe Biden's presidency right now in a manner in which he never thought would happen. And now he has to pivot and do it. And potentially he does it great. But at the moment, he needs to understand it ain't so easy. He also needs to understand that he needs to be more hands-on all the time. Otherwise, people are just treating him like a puppet. We've been talking about this for a while on this channel. If you're the lead negotiator with Joe Manchin, you do not have the staffers get involved. If you're the lead negotiator with Joe Manchin, then you do not have Pramela or Nancy intervene. If you're the lead negotiator with Joe Manchin, then you determine when the vote is called, how the vote is called, and you tell Chuck Schumer, this is how you're going to go do it. You don't keep on deferring. Defer to this guy, defer to that guy, defer to that guy. That's fine if you're not the lead negotiator with Joe Manchin. You are, and so otherwise you have to stay on point with your messaging. If the White House came in tough as nails on this and really sort of focused, then we'd be in a better place. There was a quote I read you back in November where one senator said, I hope to see a whole sea of Democrats coming to the White House every single day, every hour, on the hour to get this recon done. No. White House says today that the president reached out to Joe Manchin after the Fox News interview on Sunday. Says they hope to speak again soon. Soon? Oh, Lord, Joe and Joe. Just this soon, maybe, sort of, wonder, across the board, not going to work. Meantime, let's talk about you and me. I'm very excited for your approach to situations this weekend. And you have been very, very good. Understand that positivity is at hand. Analysis where we're critical is different than negativity. Negativity is the following. If someone says this government doesn't care, they don't want to send out money for anyone, that's wrong, 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 because they sent out a fortune under third stimulus, and viewers are getting an average of $5,000 this week. So to say they don't care, that's just pure negativity, doesn't really help anyone. Critical. Yeah, I want you to be critical. How dare Jalapal say not to negotiate? That's wrong of her. That's not negative. That's very critical. That works. Let's go over how to approach third stimulus. On Holidays LA today, and I said it when the show was airing, I can watch the live analytics as the show is airing. And I know that the first half of the video is this, and the second half of this video is baking a scone, which is totally different to some viewers. It's like, I don't want to know the scone. I just want to know when the donut lands in my bank account. Needless to say, there was 750 people in the room until I said, okay, coming up at the commercial break, a scone. And then they just sort of all left. No, I'm just being facetious. They all left. But it went from 750 in the live chat to 550 in 10 seconds. At the same time, I saw the comments from non-members of the live chat saying, so what day in January am I getting my check? And how many checks am I getting in January? And are they doing lots of checks and retro checks starting in January? Oh, my goodness. That is everything I've taught against on this channel. And I don't want you to confuse that with being critical of Joe or Pramela. I don't want you to confuse that. That's becoming a donut guy. And boy, you are setting yourself up for trouble. Third stimulus is available. What does this channel teach? If there's money in front of you, 20 wads of cash in front of you, and you're over in the corner saying, but I'm waiting for that SS200. I don't want any of these wads of cash. I'm going to say, hey, I made that recording in 2020, which I did. I made it a lot of times. People said, I don't want these other things. They don't care about seniors because they're not giving us the SS200. You're getting money. You're getting fortunes of money. Why are you saying you don't care for you? And this stimulus comes in and pays you even more than SS200. Somewhere along the line, sometimes people who have learned so well from watching the videos suddenly say, I love this one provision. I'm going to go to the mat and say I don't like anything else unless I get this one provision. You can't do that. You can't go to the restaurant and say, unless you have the fries that have the curly Q on them, I don't want the fries that are straight. But sir, they taste the same. But I really want the ones that are curly Q because I like to be known as the curly Q fry person. I don't eat straight fries. It's not my look. Well, you can't be looky. You can't be a looky-loo all the time. Coming up next is the continuation of Evenings LA, and if you're not caught it, is a new revamped programming schedule, and boy, you're loving it. Evenings LA every night is live on air new on air at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Then at 6 o'clock is Evenings Countdown. 7 o'clock is Holiday Stream Stimulus, which starts with this and goes into holiday subjects in the second half, and then the new breakout show called Evenings Extra. It's the last new show of the day, and it airs at 8 o'clock. Meantime, tonight, you have a lot of channel flipping to do, because guess what? You got Evenings you got Evenings Extra at 8 o'clock. You also have potentially a brand new Calcino tonight, because it's been taped. I'll hopefully get it up for you tonight at 8 o'clock. If not, it'll be tomorrow. It's episode 3. And then you have the new Tester show, which I absolutely want you to watch. That is LALATE Live, currently airing live on this channel. And with that, I want your positive incredible family to subscribe and like this video and consider becoming a member. Stay focused, stay positive. Please get every penny you can from third stimulus. With all the concerns about the variant and the strain on the economy that is right behind across the board, it's important you get as much of this third stimulus available right now, because guess what? People are going to start watching this channel more and more and start trying to say, I want money because I haven't gotten that fourth stimulus. Where's that third stimulus? They're going to try to get that money before you, so get all of it right now across the board. With that, stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful evening, and stay with LALATE for more.